You may not realize it, but humans really rely on a certain amount of feedback, sort of a feedback loop. And if this is off balance in your life, you might be suffering from all kinds of things, feeling really disconnected, feeling unsupported, unheard, directionless, with some depressive issues, all kinds of things. So I want to talk today about why this matters, how it works, and how you can change the dynamic of this in your life. For those of you who are new here, I'm Ketra Thompson, and I'm a certified master hypnotist and a life recovery coach. So I help my clients address their unwanted feelings and unwanted behaviors by going back on a subconscious level to reframe what core belief created that behavior or feeling so that they can function in a different way in life. Because the subconscious mind controls over 95% of everything we think, feel, and do. So it's an incredibly impactful modality for moving forward and creating growth and momentum in your life. So if you'd like to learn more about that, there is a link in the description below that can take you to my website. We'll tell you all about it. Also, there is a free hypnosis download there. That is my gift to you, just a simple relaxation recording. And you can also set up a totally free, totally complimentary consultation call with that link below so that you can have a consultation call where we can discuss what's going on with you. We can get to the heart of what's going on, get you some clarity, and help you decide what your next best step is. So you'll want to check that out. And if this content resonates with you, please click like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that so you can be notified every time I post a new video. So humans rely on a feedback loop. We are really meant to be connected. We're meant to be operating really like within a tribe. And so we're wired to process our thoughts with other people, to talk to them about it, to tell them about it, to be heard. And when that isn't available, a really, really helpful way to process thoughts is also through journaling. It really gets it out of our head because you know that loop that kind of keeps going and we keep rehashing the same thing? We need to be able to get that out. And when we don't have that opportunity, then we do get stuck in this loop. We get obsessive thoughts. This is where the behaviors of, I just can't change my focus. I'm just stuck. I just keep thinking about this. I keep creating the same behavior over and over when we aren't able to process our feelings, our emotions, and our thoughts. Now, sometimes this helps create coping mechanisms that are really unhealthy. So drinking, smoking, emotionally eating, shopping, all kinds of addictions. Anything that really just keeps us from having to sit there and process and feel our thoughts and feelings. And because of the way people live now, we live in a more isolated way. We aren't connected to others as regularly. We don't have the regular time with someone else to build that connection and rapport that creates trust so that we feel safe being ourselves and sharing anything that comes up with someone else so that we can just get it out. Not so they can solve the problem, but so that we can actually process through our own words as we're hearing them speak out loud. Now, some people don't realize that this is actually affecting them. They might feel lonely, they might feel disconnected, but they might not realize that the ruminating thoughts and that the patterns that are creating in their life, these coping mechanisms, are actually due to a lack of community support and deep connection to meaningful people in your life. So this brings me to another point, that it really does matter who you have in your life. Now, some people will just fan the flames of negativity. So if you're sharing your thoughts, frustrations with someone who is well-intentioned and just really wants to support you, they might go, yeah, that's awful, that's terrible, you should never accept that. They kind of fan the flames of negativity in your life. So if that's who you're surrounded by, that negative loop is going to get stronger because that's going to increase your focus instead of having someone that validates your frustration by saying, I can totally see why you'd be frustrated by that. That's awful. What do you think you can do to shift how you show up there? Or what do you think your next step is? Someone who's being curious and open and helping you look at the bigger picture. So the difference in responses that you get from the people in your life affect how you see the world, affect how you focus your attention and energy internally on negative or positive or a big picture outlook, because the truth is that we get what we look for. Our brain wants to support us. So if we tell our brain something is true, it's going to look for evidence of that. So it's not that we want to ignore the realities of life, but we want to realize that we look for what we tell ourselves. So if we can take a step back and get a big picture view of the things in our life and put it into perspective, now we can choose where we focus our attention a little bit better. So mirroring is sort of part of this. We tend to mirror the people in our lives, and they mirror us. And so whatever we're volleying back and forth with each other in communication, in thoughts and feelings and mannerisms tend to get mirrored back, and it tends to create more momentum in whatever is being mirrored between two people. So the thing is, we want to take that big picture look and take a step back. We want to look at reality, and we want to accept what is. Not that we are condoning what is or saying that this is the way it should continue to be, but we want to say, yes, this is what's happening in my life right now. This is the reality. This is the response I'm getting from this person. This is the way things are going at work. Once you can accept that, now you can process that information with a solution-focused goal. But I want to bring this back to the connection piece of the feedback loop. We are so isolated, and we rarely have deep connections in our life that are helping us to look in a mirror, to see the reality of our patterns and our behaviors and our thought loops. And this is why intimate relationships can be so challenging and why they're so important, because they hold a mirror up to us that says, hey, this is your reality. Take a look at that. And it's up to us whether or not we decide to be self-reflective about the reality that we're seeing or live in denial. Now, the longer we live in denial, the more we're shoving that down. We're shoving it down, we're ignoring it, and eventually that gets us to a point, usually in midlife, that causes everything to explode. We don't have the bandwidth anymore. We don't have the strength to keep pushing that down anymore. We aren't functioning like we did before. There's so many things that happen when we get to the point of not being able to tolerate what we once could tolerate. So this is a moment of reckoning. This is where you decide about the people in your life. Are you surrounding yourself with quality people? Because that matters. It affects your feedback loop. It affects the way that you function and see yourself. If you are in chronic negativity in a relationship that is giving you either nothing by withholding affection and acting like you don't exist, or continually bullying or criticizing you, that is going to affect your mental and physical health. There's no doubt about it. Plenty of research is done there. But what if you're not around anyone? What if you interact with people throughout the day at work, but you don't have anyone at home? You don't have close friendships that you can be 100% transparent with. You don't have deep connections. You aren't sharing what's going on in your life, in your inner world, your feelings, your thoughts with anyone. And that is increasingly becoming an issue everywhere as people are more and more isolated. And we see this real push toward hyper-independence, where we should not have to need anyone. We can do it alone. We can be a badass. We can conquer the world. All of that, but it isn't backed up by science. The science of attachment theory says just the opposite. Matter of fact, it's very clear in the research that our nervous system can calm down and relax once we know that we have a committed life partner that's there for us, that we're working together with, that's a teammate. So that actually creates this level of flow that actually increases our productivity at work, our success, sometimes our income levels, our happiness overall, and it's because we get into that flow state. If you think about like professional athletes, they get in this flow state in the zone where they're performing really, really well. And it's not because they're stressed or worried or trying really hard. It's because they've found a way to center themselves, slow down, get their nervous system calmed down, so they allow that muscle memory to just flow. So in life, when we feel supported and our nervous system can finally relax, knowing we're not in this alone, we don't have to navigate all of these things alone. Our nervous system can calm down and it can actually focus on being more creative and productive and thinking outside the box in every other area of our life. So the feedback you get in your life is important. Whether it's on this spectrum of I only get negative feedback, or people who fan the flames of my anger by agreeing with it and never helping me see things differently, or if it's on the other spectrum that says, I don't have anyone, I don't trust anyone, I don't have regular connection with anyone. I'm not sharing vulnerably and openly, regularly with anyone. Both of those are not okay, and they keep us stuck, and they get you to a point of this midlife point that I mentioned where we just go, enough, I can't do anymore. I'm tapped out because you've been carrying too much weight yourself. And one of the first things that I notice with clients that are carrying too much weight themselves is that they aren't tuned into themselves. They don't know what's going on inside themselves. They aren't checked in with themselves. They don't understand their feelings and emotions. They don't know how to communicate them. And they have isolated themselves, thinking that they have to carry the weight of the world, and they don't. So the first thing you can do to change this is start surrounding yourself with people that are going in the right direction, because we do tend to base who we are and how we function in this world and who we become on the people that we surround ourselves with. That's why the choice of a life partner is so important. They are incredibly impactful in your life, and your closest friends matter. So are they going in a good direction in life? Are they someone that you look up to and you respect? And if not, start building that connection with a new group of people, or looking for a standard in a partner that is someone that can be that real teammate and is someone you respect. So that's step one, surround yourself with really good people. Step two, start tuning into yourself, asking yourself what you're feeling, what you need, what you want, what you desire. Start getting real with yourself. And step three is get some guidance and accountability. We don't heal in isolation. We heal with the guidance of someone who's gone before us and the accountability that brings. So going through something like a customized hypnotherapy process where you're able to go back to what created these behaviors and belief systems that have been limiting you forever, reframe them, and moving through that process with a guide and the accountability that having weekly sessions brings is huge. The truth is, you are the only thing that if you invest in can never be taken away. You'll get new cars, you'll live in different places, but every day of your life, you will wake up with you. So investing in yourself is incredibly important, regardless of the path you take. Of course, I'm partial to hypnotherapy. I think it's amazing, but getting guidance to get you to that next step in life, to create that momentum, whatever that is for you, is really, really important, because otherwise we just end up kind of staying in this old loop and not creating a new rapport, a new feedback loop from new people in our life giving us new perspective, or a broader perspective, or a more been there, done that perspective, right? So if you'd like to learn more about that, or you'd like to set up that consultation call, again, check out that link in the description below. I would love to have that discussion with you and help you get to the root of what's going on. So until next time, I hope you curate a life by your own design.